We're now going to take a look at how your brigade members can actually conduct a inspection on a vehicle, particularly from our public interface. So effectively, each vehicle and inspection can be accessed directly via its QR code. So if we have a look at our pumper, for example, you'll see we've got a public vehicle URL and a QR code. So if this is enabled and we visit that URL, you'll see that we get basically to the Bayside Pumper page directly. There's some information here. There's a draft inspection in progress, and we can start a new inspection. We can also do the same for inspection templates themselves. So we can go to our pumper check. You can see public access here is also enabled. So we can copy that link and we can go directly to that inspection and basically start that pumper check on Bayside Pumper. The third way of doing it is what we would most recommend, which is through our Brigade public page, because this offers a number of other benefits for brigades as well. So under our brigade settings, we've got our public page tab here. So you'll see that the public page has been enabled. These pages are not discoverable by search engines and Google and things like that. And obviously you can see from the URL that's been generated, it would be very difficult for someone to be able to actually guess what these URLs are. We're also not really exposing any sensitive or secret or secure information via these Brigade public pages either. So the risk is relatively low, but we have taken all efforts that we can to ensure that these remain effectively private, even though they are public. So on our Brigade page, we have a few options. So we can show events and trainings. So if you're using that feature of Station 1, they will become visible on the public page. So members might be able to see what training sessions you've got coming up or what events the Brigade's participating in. We can see our hydrants, and that also ties into our hydrant inspections as well. So we can actually inspect those hydrants on a schedule, and we can show any hydrants in fault state and things like that via that interface as well. And then we've also got our public stock consumption. So any stock items that are made public, members are now able to basically consume that stock. So things like P2 masks, where they may need, one or two for in their gear or pockets or something like that. If they consume them, they can actually, record that stock usage when they take from the stores. And finally, we've got a little bit of a link tree thing going on where you can put in links to relevant documentation for your brigade and have members be able to access that directly from the brigade page. So we've got our brigade page enabled. We have templates, we have vehicles, we've got some stock. So if we now copy this link here, and we actually go to our brigade page, you'll see, firstly, we've got our vehicles that have been made public. So Bayside Pumper and Tanker. We've got our inspection templates that are public. So our pumper and our tanker checks. We've got our stock items here. So I can record these. It's not associated with a vehicle and used at a job or something like that. And we'll see that this number will decrease here. And likewise, obviously, if we come and look in our stock for P2 masks, you'll see that the public user has used one of those masks. So that's captured there against the stock. And we've got our links down here. This obviously doesn't go anywhere, but just by way of example, you'll see how they appear on our public page. So you can put this on a QR code in the vehicles or around your station. Members can save this to the home screen of their own device. When they need to interact with a vehicle or stock or anything like that, they can select the vehicle. If you have booking available, so if we just go to the tanker, you'll see we can book this vehicle. It's currently booked at the moment, but you can request a booking and that goes through an approval workflow. So members of the Brigade admin are able to approve that particular vehicle booking. And then we can also go into our inspection. So if we go back to our pumper, so we're going to start an inspection here. This now ties back to in our initial video where we looked at brigade members versus users. So if you record your brigade members into the system, but don't give them actual user access, we can actually look up their names or they can look up their names when they do inspection. So if we just start typing a name of a member, you'll see that it'll provide us with suggestions that match those members of your brigade. So we'll put in Olivia. We're going to do the pumper check. We can also add other members who are participating. So if there's a group of members, we'll put in another name here. So Joe Smith. Now our inspections are also multi-user capable. So basically, once a member has initiated an inspection, if someone else comes along to this page, you'll see the draft inspection here. it'll actually tell you that there's an active user working on that inspection. They can jump into that, and then basically both users can work on that inspection at the same time. It's all dynamically synced as people complete various different questions and sections and things like that. So if we start the inspection, you'll see our inspection interface. This is all fully mobile as well. So if you're doing this on a a phone or a tablet device or something, it is all fully responsive, so it will fit the screen properly. And then from there, you can see we've got our progress bar at the top. We've got our section that we built, so our cabin section here. We can jump to our various different sections in the inspection template. So if you've got multiple users who are working on this inspection, someone might like to jump ahead to NS3. So we can do that. It just warns us that we haven't met the requirements of all the required responses here. So we click OK, and then we jump to that page of the inspection. So in the case that multiple people were working on this, you would actually see a little, one active user notification pop up here as well. But if we go back to our cabin, so pretty standard inspection interface. You can see the prompt text that we put here. We can pass things, we can add a note in here. We can pass that and we can continue through our inspection. So this gas detector is one in a previous video where we linked this question to a piece of equipment, being the gas detector. So you'll see the gas detector has no inspections completed and it's next due on the 1st of Feb. So basically what we're suggesting to brigades is that as part of your truck check, you check that the item itself is present on the truck, and then you delegate the actual inspection of that item to its dedicated inspection. So what would happen if this inspection had not been completed prior to the 1st of February? A button would actually appear here and allow members to jump in and do that gas detector inspection at this point in time. They can then return back to the truck check. Or as I said, if you've got multiple users working on this inspection, someone may grab the gas detector off, jump over, and they'll conduct the inspection on the gas detector and then return back to the truck check. So we've dynamically linked in those equipment items to actual questions in your truck check. So we'll mark that as present. And on the next page, we'll have a look at a couple of different other different question types that we've got here. So our number one, so basically it's expecting a count of something. It's expecting 20. So if we put anything below 20 in here, it will actually create an automatic action in the system for someone to follow up. However, because we have already linked this to our P2 mask stock, basically what members can do if they counted and said, oh, there's only 10 on the truck and I need to put 10 more in, they can click the restock button. We can put in 10, which allows us then to say there's 20 here. So that's actually a pass that will meet the requirements of the inspection because we have resupplied. At the time that all of this is submitted, that will decrease our P2 mask count by 10. So we'll end up with 28 and we're still not at our low threshold of 20. So we're all good. Next, we've got our expected count and expiry date. So this is expecting there to be 5 ration packs, and it's also asking for the earliest expiry date. So as we've noted before, if an item is between 90 and 30 days of expiry, you will get a notification on your inspection dashboard that something is expiring soon. You can then manually create an action for that or dismiss that notification. If something is 30 days or under expiring or has already expired, it will automatically create an action for that item that you'll need to address to, obviously, in this case, purchase new ration packs and replace those. So we'll just pop these for the end of the week at the moment. So we'll see that come up on our inspection dashboard. And our dry chem, this is just expecting a date, an expiry date of when it's next due for its test or something like that. So we can punch this out into the future like so. And then we can complete our inspection. So that's pretty much it. We'll get a confirmation screen. So that was 100%, which is great. And then we can add any more members in here at the conclusion of the inspection if we wanted to, or obviously we can return to our Brigade page. That's the easiest way for our members to complete those truck checks. As you've seen, there's no requirement for them to authenticate to the platform or have a user account or anything like that. They are simply able to scan the QR code that is provided and then basically start accessing those inspections that you've made available to them through this public Brigade page. Or if you opt for another method and you have a QR code directly to a vehicle or directly to an inspection or something like that. In our case, we've created QR codes that link directly to our defibrillator inspections, and we've put them in the case with the defib. So you can also take that sort of tact as well to ensure that members are accessing the relevant inspection when they're getting to those pieces of equipment. In the next video, we'll take a look at reviewing the inspection and we'll have a look at some action items and how we deal with those in the Station 1 platform as well.